6 months after the Great Revelation, Admiral Jiwan stood in the observation deck of the human orbital station that now served as galactic headquarters. Below him, Earth turned slowly in space, its blue surface unmarked by the devastation that had once threatened to destroy humanity. The former Coalition admiral wore simple civilian clothes instead of his military uniform. His forearms hung at his sides as he watched human and alien ships moving peacefully through Earth's orbital space. Strange how different everything looks from here, he said to Fleet Commander Minho, who had joined him at the viewing window. Different how? Minho asked. From my flagship, Earth looked like a small, unimportant world on the edge of civilization. From here it looks like the center of everything. Minho nodded thoughtfully. Perspective changes everything. That was the Coalition's greatest weakness. You saw only what you expected to see. The transformation of galactic society had happened faster than anyone thought possible. Within weeks of humanity's victory, over 200 species had declared independence from Coalition rule. Most had immediately requested protection under Earth's growing sphere of influence. Captain Yunji approached them with a data pad containing the daily reports. Sir, we've received formal surrender documents from the remaining Coalition holdouts in the Outer Rim. That represents the last organized resistance to the new order. Any requests for clemency? Minho asked. Most are asking to join the Terran Federation as junior partners. They've seen what happened to species that chose continued resistance. The fate of those resistant species served as a clear warning to others. Humanity had not sought genocide, but neither had they tolerated continued threats. Species that refused to accept the new reality found their military capabilities permanently removed and their expansion rights revoked for a generation. Dr. Hana's engineering teams had spent months retrofitting former Coalition vessels with human technology. The process served multiple purposes. It eliminated the technological advantage any rebel group might possess, while also creating a unified fleet under Earth's command. The integration program is ahead of schedule, she reported during the daily briefing. Former Coalition ships are being equipped with quantum disruptor weapons and stealth systems. Their crews are adapting well to human tactical doctrine. What about resistance among the crews? Asked Captain Dongmin, who had been promoted to oversee the integration process. Minimal. Most alien military personnel understand that cooperation offers them a future, while resistance offers only exile or imprisonment. The carrot and stick approach had proven remarkably effective. Species that embraced humanity's leadership found themselves with access to advanced technology, protection from hostile neighbors, and unprecedented freedoms. Those that resisted discovered that Earth's patience had limits. Intelligence Officer Therian had become one of humanity's most valuable allies. His thorough understanding of Coalition intelligence networks made him indispensable for identifying remaining threats and resistance cells. We've located the last major Coalition weapons cache, he reported to Commander Seojin. It's hidden in the asteroid belt of the Vegan system, guarded by automated defenses. Automated defenses built with Coalition technology, Seojin observed. Our stealth ships should be able to approach undetected and disable the facility without a fight. That's what makes human tactics so effective, Therian noted. You always find ways to avoid unnecessary battles while achieving total victory. The cleanup operations continued across the galaxy as human forces methodically eliminated every Coalition stronghold and weapons depot. Unlike their former enemies, Earth's military focused on precision strikes that minimized casualties while maximizing strategic impact. On the former Coalition capital world of Kepler Prime, Captain Yeji oversaw the transformation of the planet's government. The process had been surprisingly smooth, with most alien politicians eager to cooperate with their new human administrators. The transition councils are functioning well, she reported. Local species are handling most day-to-day governance while human advisors provide strategic guidance. Any problems with the integration? Asked Dr. Minji, who was coordinating the technological upgrades across former Coalition worlds. Some older officials are having difficulty adjusting to the concept of representative government. Under Coalition rule, all important decisions came from above. Now they have to actually listen to their people. The democratic reforms were perhaps the most radical change humanity had brought to galactic civilization. For 10,000 years, the Coalition had ruled through appointed governors and military authority. Earth's system of elected representatives and citizen participation was completely foreign to most alien species, but the results spoke for themselves. Worlds under human protection were experiencing unprecedented prosperity and social stability. The oppressive taxation and military conscription that had defined coalition rule were replaced by voluntary cooperation and mutual benefit. Fleet Commander Minho stood before the newly formed Galactic Assembly, addressing representatives from over 300 species. The Great Hall on Earth's orbital station accommodated beings of every size and environmental need, from the massive aquatic leviathans to the tiny crystalline fragments. 6 months ago, many of your worlds lived in fear, he began, his words translated into hundreds of languages. Fear of coalition reprisals, fear of military conscription, fear of having your resources seized to support distant wars. Today you have the opportunity to build something better. The assembly listened with respectful attention. Every being present understood that they owed their freedom to the humans who had shattered coalition power in a matter of days. Earth does not seek to rule over you, Minho continued. We seek partnership with those who share our values of cooperation, freedom, and mutual respect. Those who choose to stand with us will find us loyal allies. Those who choose to stand against us have learned what that decision costs. The warning was delivered gently, but every representative understood its meaning. Humanity had proven their ability to destroy enemies who threatened them, but they had also proven their willingness to protect friends who earned their trust. Ambassador Cathera of the Centaurian Republic rose to speak. Her species had been among the first to declare independence after humanity's victory. Representative Minho, the Centaurian Republic formally requests full membership in the Terran Federation. We offer our industrial capacity and scientific knowledge in service of our shared future. Similar requests came from dozens of other species. The Terran Federation was growing from a human organization into a truly galactic alliance, bound together by shared interest rather than conquest. Dr. Hyunwoo presented the latest technological developments to the assembly. Human and alien scientists working together have achieved breakthroughs that neither species could have accomplished alone. Our combined knowledge is pushing the boundaries of what we thought possible. The scientific cooperation had produced remarkable results. Human creativity combined with alien theoretical knowledge was solving problems that had puzzled researchers for centuries. New propulsion systems, advanced medical treatments, and revolutionary manufacturing techniques were emerging from joint research projects. We estimate that technological progress under the Federation is proceeding 50 times faster than it did under coalition rule, Dr. Hyunwoo reported. Freedom to pursue knowledge without political interference has unleashed the creative potential of hundreds of species. As the assembly session concluded, Admiral Jiwan found himself reflecting on how completely his worldview had changed. The humans he had once dismissed as primitive savages had not only defeated the galaxy's most powerful military, but had created something better to replace it. Do you ever regret the deception? He asked Minho as they walked through the station's corridors after the session. Which deception? Minho replied. Letting you think you had won at Proxima? Or letting you think we were primitive and weak? Both. Minho considered the question carefully. We regret that deception was necessary, but we don't regret the results. How many species are free today because we chose patience over pride? Jiwan looked around at the bustling station, where humans and aliens worked together as equals rather than rulers and subjects. Perhaps deception was the kindest option. A direct confrontation would have cost millions more lives. That's why we chose the path we did, Minho agreed. Sometimes the greatest mercy is to defeat your enemies so completely that they have no choice but to accept peace. Commander Taehyun's voice came through the station's communication system, announcing the day's final report. All former coalition territories have now been integrated into the Federation structure. The last resistance cells have surrendered and all major weapon systems are under Federation control. The transformation was complete. In less than a year, humanity had gone from apparent extinction to galactic dominance, not through conquest but through superior strategy and technology. The coalition's age of oppression had ended, replaced by a federation built on cooperation and mutual benefit. As night fell over Earth's orbital stations, beings from hundreds of worlds worked together in laboratories, factories, and council chambers. Admiral Jiwan's hands shook as he watched the impossible footage on his command screen. The recording had been transmitted from a Coalition patrol ship just before it was destroyed, and what it showed changed everything he thought he knew about the war. Human ships. Dozens of them appearing out of empty space like materializing nightmares. Their sleek hulls bore the symbols of Earth's military, and their weapons tore through Coalition shields as if they were made of paper. "This is impossible," he whispered. "We destroyed their entire fleet at Proxima." His intelligence officer, Therion, stood beside him with an expression of grim understanding. "Sir, I believe we destroyed decoys. The real human fleet has been hunting us for months." The implications hit Jiwan like a physical blow. Every missing ship, every mysterious disappearance, every unexplained system failure had been the work of an enemy he thought was extinct. The humans had been playing a game of deception that spanned months, making the Coalition believe they were safe while systematically destroying their military forces. "Get me high command," Jiwan ordered. "The entire galaxy needs to know what we're facing." But even as emergency communications raced across Coalition space, it was already too late. Deep in the asteroid belt of Sol system, Fleet Commander Minho gave the order that would change galactic history forever. "Begin Operation Revelation," he announced to his assembled fleet commanders. "All stealth systems are to be deactivated simultaneously. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity really looks like when we go to war." Across 12 star systems, the impossible happened at once. Empty space suddenly filled with human warships as stealth fields collapsed and Earth's true armada revealed itself. Thousands of vessels appeared like ghosts becoming solid, surrounding Coalition bases and fleets that had thought themselves safe. Captain Dongmin watched from the bridge of his dreadnought Sol's Revenge as Admiral Jiwan's flagship came into view. The massive Coalition battleship had been patrolling what its crew believed was secure space, unaware that human ships had been shadowing them for days. "All weapons charged and ready," reported his tactical officer. "Quantum disruptor cannons are locked onto their primary systems." "Open a communication channel," Dongmin ordered. "Let's give the Admiral a proper introduction." On his bridge, Admiral Jiwan's communications officer looked up with confusion. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission on all frequencies. The signal is coming from directly above us." Jiwan looked at his sensors, which showed nothing but empty space in the direction of the signal. "Impossible. There's nothing there." "Admiral Jiwan," came a calm human voice through the speakers. "This is Captain Dongmin of the Earth vessel Sol's Revenge. I suggest you look up." Above the Coalition flagship, the massive human dreadnought slowly faded into visibility like a predator revealing itself to trapped prey. Its hull was scarred from months of hidden warfare, and its weapons glowed with contained energy that made Jiwan's experienced crews step back from their stations in fear. "You destroyed our decoys very effectively," Dongmin continued. "Did you really think humanity would send our entire fleet to die in a single battle? We've been watching you celebrate your victory while we prepared for this moment." Similar scenes played out across the galaxy as human fleets revealed themselves around every major Coalition stronghold. The aliens found themselves surrounded by enemies they had believed were dead, facing weapons technology they could not understand or counter. At Coalition headquarters on Kepler Prime, Supreme Admiral Korthak watched in horror as his strategic displays filled with red enemy contacts. Every major fleet base, every important colony, every crucial supply line was under immediate threat from forces that had appeared out of nowhere. "How many ships are we facing?" he demanded. "Initial estimates suggest over 2,000 human vessels," reported his intelligence chief. "They're using stealth technology far beyond our capabilities and weapons that can penetrate any known shield system." 2,000? Our intelligence said they had only 200 ships at Proxima. "Sir, I believe those were deliberately constructed decoys. The humans allowed us to study fake ships while hiding their real technology." Commander Seojin led his Marine assault force through the corridors of Coalition headquarters itself. His soldiers had infiltrated the facility using the same stealth technology that had hidden Earth's fleet, walking unseen through the most secure installation in Coalition space. "Teams 1 and 2 secure the command center," he ordered through his helmet comm. "Team 3 takes the communication array. Team 4 handles the defensive systems." The human Marines moved with practiced efficiency, their powered exoskeletons making them faster and stronger than any Coalition soldier. Their energy weapons cut through alien armor like it was cloth, while their personal shields deflected return fire with ease. Coalition defenders found themselves fighting enemies who seemed immune to their weapons while wielding technology that could kill with a single shot. The battle was over almost before it began. "Command center secured," reported Sergeant Young-ho. "All Coalition leadership is in custody." Dr. Hyunwoo's voice echoed through every Coalition communication system as he broadcast humanity's message to the galaxy. His words were translated into thousands of alien languages, ensuring that every species under Coalition rule would understand. "People of the galaxy," he began, "you have been told that humanity was defeated and destroyed. This was a lie we allowed your leaders to believe. For months, we have demonstrated that Earth's children are not the primitive species your Coalition claimed we were. On countless worlds, alien populations gathered around communication screens to hear the impossible truth. The humans they had been told were extinct were revealing themselves as the most dangerous military force the galaxy had ever seen. We did not seek this war," Dr. Hyunwoo continued. "We wanted only to live in peace and explore the stars alongside other intelligent species. But your Coalition demanded our submission or extinction. They chose extinction for us, so we chose to show them what extinction really looks like." Captain Soman's infiltration network activated simultaneously across Coalition space. The nanite-infected ships that had been suffering mysterious failures suddenly turned on their own fleets, or simply shut down completely. Months of preparation paid off as Coalition forces found themselves helpless against an enemy that had been inside their very walls. Every ship you thought was dying from equipment failure was actually killed by human weapons, Dr. Hyunwoo explained to his galactic audience. Every base that suffered system malfunctions was sabotaged by human infiltrators. Every patrol that disappeared was destroyed by human hunters. Admiral Jiwon found himself transported aboard the Soul's Revenge, standing in Captain Dongmin's ready room under heavy guard. The human captain sat behind his desk, studying reports from across the galaxy with calm satisfaction. "Your forces are surrendering system by system," Dongmin informed him. "Most of your fleets are already disabled by our nanite infiltrators. The few that remain combat-capable are surrounded and outgunned." "How?" Jiwon asked, his voice hollow with defeat. "How did you hide such a massive force?" "We learned from your own tactics," Dongmin replied. "The Coalition has always believed that superior numbers and firepower guarantee victory. You never considered that an enemy might use intelligence, deception, and patience instead of brute force." Fleet Commander Minho's voice came through the ship's communication system as he addressed the surviving Coalition leadership. "Your military power is broken. Your fleets are destroyed or disabled. Your bases are captured or abandoned. But we are not interested in ruling over conquered subjects. What do you want?" Admiral Jiwon asked. "We want what we have always wanted," Minho replied. "To be left alone to pursue our destiny among the stars. Your Coalition chose to make that impossible, so we chose to make your Coalition impossible." Across the galaxy, Coalition resistance crumbled as the scope of humanity's victory became clear. Species that had been oppressed under Coalition rule began declaring independence, protected by human fleets that had proven their ability to defeat any opponent. Dr. Hyunwoo concluded his broadcast with words that would echo through galactic history. "Today, the galaxy learned that underestimating humanity is a fatal mistake. We are not the weak species you believed us to be. We are not the primitive culture you tried to destroy. We are the children of Earth, and we have shown you what happens when you threaten our future." The Coalition's age of dominance was over. Humanity's age had begun, built not on conquest but on the proven ability to outthink, outfight, and outmaneuver anyone who stood in their way. The galaxy would never underestimate Earth's children again. Admiral Jiwon stared at the empty space where Sector Fleet Gamma should have been. 50 warships, including 3 heavy battlecruisers, had simply vanished overnight. No distress signals, no debris fields, no trace of what had happened to them. "Run another deep scan," he ordered his sensor officer, his voice tight with concern. "Sir, we've scanned this entire system 12 times. There is nothing here. No energy signatures, no wreckage, no indication that a fleet was ever present." Jiwon's forearms trembled slightly as he gripped his command chair. In his 30 years of military service, he had never seen anything like this. An entire battle fleet had disappeared as if it had never existed. "Get me high command immediately," he demanded. 3 hours later, emergency meetings were taking place on every Coalition world. Fleet admirals, intelligence chiefs, and sector governors tried to make sense of the impossible reports. flooding their communications networks. This is the largest military disaster in coalition history, announced Supreme Admiral Korthak during the emergency session. We have lost over 300 ships in the past month, and we have no idea what is destroying them. Could it be the Void Raiders? Suggested one admiral. The Raiders use energy weapons that leave distinctive signatures. These attacks show no weapons signatures at all. Deep beneath Earth's surface, Fleet Commander Minho watched the coalition emergency session through their own communication networks. Human intelligence operatives had infiltrated alien systems months ago, giving Earth complete access to enemy planning and discussions. They're finally starting to panic, observed Captain Yunji with satisfaction. But they still have no idea what they're facing. Minho nodded, his attention focused on the tactical displays showing human fleet positions throughout coalition space. His invisible armada had been systematically destroying enemy forces while remaining completely undetected. Phase 3 is ready to begin, he announced to his senior staff. It's time to show them that their enemy is not random pirates or equipment failures. Captain Jaewon received his orders aboard the stealth carrier Busan Rising, hidden in the shadow of a gas giant in the Rigel system. His ship carried 200 cloaked fighter drones, each one equipped with advanced infiltration systems. Launch all drones, he commanded. Target every coalition ship in this sector. The fighter drones spread out across the system like invisible spiders, each one seeking a different target. They moved too small and too quietly for coalition sensors to detect, designed to attach to enemy hulls like mechanical parasites. One drone found the coalition destroyer Vigilant Guardian and clamped itself to the ship's outer hull. Microscopic cutting tools allowed it to penetrate the armor and access internal systems. Once inside, the drone began mapping the ship's computer networks and defensive systems. Attachment successful, reported Drone Control Officer Yerim. All 200 drones have made contact with target vessels. Beginning data collection phase. The drones did not attack immediately. Instead, they gathered detailed information about each ship's capabilities, crew numbers, and weaknesses. This intelligence would be crucial when the time came for coordinated strikes. Meanwhile, on Luna Base, Dr. Minji put the finishing touches on humanity's most devastating weapon. Her nanite infiltrators were now ready for deployment across the galaxy. Each batch contains 1 million microscopic machines, she explained to the assembled military commanders via secure video link. They can be introduced into enemy ships through air vents, water supplies, or direct injection into computer systems. What do they do once inside? Asked Captain Dongman. They multiply rapidly and begin disabling critical systems. Power generators fail, life support malfunctions, weapon systems shut down. To the crew, it appears that their ship is suffering multiple simultaneous equipment failures. How long until the ship is completely disabled? Approximately 6 hours from initial infection. The nanites work slowly to avoid detection, making each failure appear natural and unrelated to the others. Fleet Commander Minho studied the test results with approval. Begin deployment immediately. I want nanite packages delivered to every major coalition fleet within 2 weeks. Captain Yeji accepted this mission aboard her destroyer Hidden Blade. Her ship specialized in deep penetration operations, capable of traveling undetected through the heart of enemy territory. First target is the coalition 3rd Fleet anchored at Centauri Station, she reported. Estimated time to infiltration, 4 days. While human forces prepared for their most ambitious operation, the coalition leadership struggled with mounting panic. Reports of missing ships arrived hourly, each one more mysterious than the last. Intelligence Officer Therion had finally convinced his superiors to take his warnings seriously. He now led a special investigation unit tasked with discovering what was destroying coalition forces. The pattern is clear, he reported during his briefing to Admiral Jiwon. These are not random attacks. Someone or something is conducting a systematic campaign against our military. But who? Demanded Jiwon. The humans are extinct. The Void Raiders lack this kind of coordination. Our other enemies do not possess advanced stealth technology. I believe we are facing an unknown force with capabilities far beyond anything in our databases. Jiwon studied the tactical displays showing the locations of lost ships. The attacks were happening simultaneously across dozens of sectors, suggesting an enemy force of enormous size and coordination. Double all patrols, he ordered. Implement random course changes for all fleet movements. If our enemy is tracking our ships, we must become unpredictable. But even as the coalition scrambled to protect their remaining forces, human infiltration teams were already moving. Commander Jinwoo led a psychological warfare unit that had been spreading false information through captured coalition communication networks. Plant reports that the attacks are coming from the Galactic core. He instructed his team. Create false sensor readings showing massive energy signatures in empty space. Make them afraid of shadows. The psychological campaign was devastatingly effective. Coalition crews began reporting phantom contacts and mysterious energy readings where nothing existed. Fear spread through their ranks as soldiers imagined threats everywhere. Captain Yeji's destroyer reached Centauri Station undetected, its stealth systems allowing it to pass within kilometers of Coalition patrol ships. Her infiltration team prepared to deploy nanite packages into the station's air recycling system. Once the nanites are released, she reported to Fleet Command, they will spread throughout the station and to every ship that docks here. Within a week, the entire Third Fleet will be infected. Proceed with deployment, ordered Fleet Commander Minho. The nanite release was completed without detection. Microscopic machines began spreading through Centauri Station's life support systems, carried by air currents to every section of the massive facility. Coalition personnel breathed in the invisible invaders, never knowing they had been infected. Admiral Jiwon received his latest casualty reports with growing desperation. In the past week, the Coalition had lost another 200 ships. Entire patrol groups were disappearing daily, and there seemed to be no way to stop the losses. Sir, reported his communications officer, we're receiving distress signals from Centauri Station. They're reporting massive systems failures throughout the facility. What kind of failures? Power grid instabilities, life support malfunctions, computer system crashes. They're requesting immediate evacuation assistance. Jiwon felt a chill run through his alien physiology. Centauri Station was one of their most heavily defended facilities, protected by the Third Fleet and equipped with the most advanced technology the Coalition possessed. Deploy emergency response teams. Immediately, he ordered. But by the time rescue ships arrived at Centauri Station, it was too late. The facility drifted in space like a tomb, its lights flickering randomly as systems failed throughout its structure. The Third Fleet that had protected it sat motionless, their crews trapped aboard ships that no longer responded to commands. Dr. Minji's nanites had done their work perfectly, disabling one of the Coalition's most important military bases without firing a single shot. To the surviving alien forces, it appeared that their technology was simply failing for no apparent reason. The enemy is in our very walls, whispered Intelligence Officer Therian as he studied the reports from Centauri Station. They can strike anywhere, anytime, and we cannot even see them, Fleet Commander. Minho allowed himself a small smile as he reviewed the success of Phase 3. The Coalition was beginning to understand that they faced an enemy beyond their comprehension, but they still had no idea that their extinct human foes had returned from the dead. Soon it would be time for the final revelation. 3 months had passed since the Coalition's great victory over humanity. Admiral Jiwon sat in his comfortable office on the command station orbiting Kepler Prime, reviewing routine reports from across his sector. The destruction of Earth's fleet had earned him promotion to Sector Admiral, with authority over 300 worlds. But something was troubling him. The reports on his desk told a strange story of missing ships and failed communications. Another supply convoy has gone silent, reported his aide, a young officer with blue-scaled skin. The transport group carrying medical supplies to the Vega colonies stopped responding 2 days ago. Jiwon waved a dismissive hand. Equipment failures happen. These human-built shipping lanes are poorly maintained since we eliminated their species. Yes, sir, but this is the 15th convoy to disappear in the past month. Pirates, Jiwon said firmly. Criminal elements always become bold after major conflicts. Double the patrol schedules in those sectors. Far from Kepler Prime, Captain Soman guided her stealth frigate through the wreckage of the very convoy Admiral Jiwon had just dismissed. Her ship, the Silent Storm, moved between the destroyed vessels like a ghost, invisible to any scanning system the Coalition possessed. Boarding complete, reported her tactical officer through the comm system. All data cores recovered, cargo seized, no survivors. Soman nodded as she watched Coalition rescue ships arriving in the distance. By the time they reached the wreckage, her ship would be gone, leaving only the appearance of a pirate attack. The destroyed vessels would show damage from conventional weapons, not the quantum torpedoes that had actually killed them. "Set course for the next target," she commanded. "Intelligence indicates a patrol group will pass through the Deneb system in 6 hours." Her ship and 11 others like it had been hunting coalition vessels for months, picking off isolated ships with surgical precision. Each attack looked like an accident or criminal activity. The aliens had no idea they were facing an organized military campaign. The Silent Storm's quantum torpedoes left no energy signature when they exploded. To coalition investigators, the destroyed ships appeared to have suffered reactor failures or collisions with space debris. The few survivors who escaped in life pods reported seeing nothing unusual before their ships exploded. Meanwhile, on Kepler Station, Intelligence Officer Therion studied the pattern of disappearances on his private terminal. Unlike his superiors, the insectoid being had spent years analyzing criminal activity patterns. What he saw now did not match any known pirate behavior. "The attacks are too precise," he muttered to himself, his compound eyes focusing on star charts. "Pirates take cargo and leave witnesses. These ships are completely destroyed with no demands or communication." He marked the location of each attack on his display. The pattern was clear to anyone who looked carefully. The missing ships all traveled along major supply routes, and the timing suggested coordination between multiple groups. Therion requested a meeting with Admiral Jiwan, but was told the sector commander was too busy with more important matters. The intelligence officer's concerns about invisible enemies were dismissed as paranoid theories. In the depths of space near the Barnard system, Commander Tae-hyun led his boarding party through the corridors of a coalition cruiser. His soldiers moved like shadows, their adaptive camouflage suits making them nearly invisible even at close range. "Target the main computer core," Tae-hyun whispered into his helmet comm. "We need their navigation logs and fleet deployment data." His team reached the ship's central computer without alerting the crew. The coalition sailors continued their routine duties, unaware that enemy soldiers walked among them. The humans had perfected infiltration techniques that made them invisible to most alien senses. Dr. Minji's breakthrough had made such operations possible. Working from her secret laboratory on Luna Base, she had developed adaptive camouflage that bent light around the wearer. The technology was far beyond anything the Coalition possessed, based on quantum field manipulation principles that their scientists had never discovered. "Data extraction complete," reported Sergeant Minje, the team's technical specialist. "We have complete records of Coalition fleet movements for this entire sector." "Excellent. Plant the reactor charges and prepare for extraction." The human soldiers moved to the ship's engine room, where they placed small explosive devices designed to cause apparent reactor failures. In 30 minutes, the cruiser would suffer a catastrophic explosion that looked completely accidental. Commander Tae-hyun and his team slipped away to their waiting transport, leaving no trace of their presence. The Coalition crew would die believing their ship had suffered equipment failure, never knowing they had been murdered by an enemy they thought was extinct. Back on Earth, Fleet Commander Minho received reports from all active hunting groups. Captain Soman's frigate squadron had destroyed 18 Coalition vessels in the past month. Commander Tae-hyun's infiltration teams had gathered intelligence from a dozen more ships before destroying them. Similar operations were occurring throughout Coalition space. "The enemy is beginning to notice the pattern," reported Captain Unji, studying intelligence reports. "Some of their officers are asking questions about the missing ships." "Let them ask," Minho replied calmly. "By the time they understand what is happening, it will be too late." Dr. Hyunwoo approached the command station with a satisfied expression. "The new quantum disruptor cannons are ready for deployment. Every ship in our hidden fleet now carries weapons that can penetrate any Coalition shield technology." "What about the nanite infiltrators?" "Dr. Minji has perfected the design. These microscopic machines can be introduced into enemy ships through their air recycling systems. Once inside, they will disable critical systems without leaving any trace of sabotage." Engineering Chief Hana joined the conversation, her tablet displaying production reports. "Our manufacturing facilities have completed construction of the assault fleet. We now have 2,000 combat vessels hidden throughout the solar system, all equipped with stealth technology and advanced weapons." Minho studied the tactical displays surrounding his command chair. The Coalition controlled over 1,000 worlds and possessed millions of ships, but they were spread thin across the galaxy. Their forces were designed to fight visible enemies using conventional tactics. They have no defense against an enemy they cannot see, he observed. Every battle doctrine in their military assumes they will be fighting opponents who reveal themselves before attacking. Captain Dongmin's voice came through the communication system from his hidden dreadnought. Sir, we've identified the location of Admiral Jiwan's sector command. His station is lightly defended because he believes the area is secure. Not yet, Minho replied. Continue gathering intelligence. Map their patrol routes. Study their response times. Identify their weaknesses. When we strike, it must be decisive. On Kepler Station, Intelligence Officer Therion made one final attempt to warn his superiors about the growing threat. He had compiled evidence of the coordinated attacks, showing that the pattern was far too organized to be random piracy. Admiral, he said during his brief meeting with Jiwan, I believe we are facing an organized enemy force using advanced stealth technology. Impossible, Jiwan replied firmly. All human military forces were destroyed at Proxima. You are seeing patterns that do not exist. But sir, the evidence clearly shows. The evidence shows that criminal elements are taking advantage of reduced patrol schedules. Nothing more. I will not have my officers spreading panic with wild theories about invisible enemies. Therion left the meeting knowing his warnings would be ignored. The coalition's leadership was blind to the growing threat, convinced that their greatest enemy was already defeated. In the darkness between stars, Captain Sumin's hunting pack prepared for their next strike against a coalition supply depot. The aliens would wake up to find their facility destroyed and their ships missing, with no explanation except apparent equipment failure. The invisible war was escalating, and humanity held every advantage. The space around Proxima Centauri burned with the light of dying ships. Admiral Jiwan watched from his command bridge as the last human vessel exploded in a brilliant flash of orange fire. The alien commander's forearms moved across his control panel, checking the battle reports one final time. All human ships destroyed, reported his tactical officer, a tall creature with silver skin. No survivors detected, Jiwan nodded with satisfaction. The humans had fought bravely, but their primitive weapons were no match for coalition technology. Their kinetic cannons and basic energy shields had crumbled against plasma bombardment and quantum torpedoes. The entire human fleet of 200 ships lay scattered across space as burning wreckage. Send word to all coalition worlds, Jiwan commanded. The human threat has been eliminated. The galaxy is safe. Across the coalition's 1,000 worlds, beings celebrated the news. The humans had dared to challenge the established order, claiming rights to expand beyond their single world. Such arrogance could not be tolerated. The coalition had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years, and no primitive species would change that. But far from the celebration, deep beneath the ruined city of Sol on Earth, Fleet Commander Minho sat in a hidden command center carved from solid rock. Banks of monitors surrounded him, showing the real status of humanity's military forces. His weathered face remained calm as he watched the staged destruction play out exactly as planned. All decoy ships performed perfectly, reported Captain Yunji, his second in command. She was a small woman with sharp eyes and graying hair. The enemy believes they destroyed our entire fleet. Minho nodded slowly. And our real ships? Hidden in the asteroid belt, sir. All 2,000 vessels remain undetected. Yunji pulled up a holographic display showing dots scattered throughout the solar system's outer regions. The coalition's scanners cannot penetrate our stealth technology. Dr. Hyunwoo looked up from his scientific station. The elderly man had led Earth's secret weapons program for 15 years. Their scanning methods are exactly as we predicted. They look for metal signatures and energy emissions. Our quantum-wrapped hulls appear as nothing more than space rocks. Minho stood and walked to the main display screen. The image showed coalition ships departing the Proxima system, their mission apparently complete. The alien admiral had no idea that every ship he had destroyed was nothing more than an elaborate decoy, filled with scrap metal and remote-controlled systems. How long did we spend building those fake ships? Minho asked. 3 years, answered Captain Dongmin via communication link. His voice came from the bridge of the hidden dreadnought Sol's Revenge, currently disguised as an asteroid in the belt beyond, Mars. Everyone was designed to look like our real vessels, but with primitive technology inside, and the aliens fell for it, completely, added Captain Unji with a slight smile. The Deception had been humanity's greatest gamble. When first contact occurred 5 years ago, Earth's leaders quickly realized that the Galactic Coalition viewed humans as potential threats to their established order. The aliens possessed superior technology and vastly outnumbered humanity's forces. But humans had one advantage the Coalition did not expect: the ability to learn and adapt quickly. Within months of first contact, human scientists had begun studying captured alien technology from early skirmishes. Dr. Hyunwoo's team had not only reverse-engineered Coalition weapons and shields, but had improved upon them dramatically. "Show me the production reports," Minho ordered. Dr. Hyunwoo brought up manufacturing data from hidden facilities across Earth and its colonies. Underground factories on Luna, Mars, and the asteroid belt had been building humanity's true fleet for 4 years. Each ship incorporated the best of both human and alien technology, creating vessels superior to anything the Coalition possessed. "Quantum disruptor cannons are complete on all dreadnoughts," Dr. Hyunwoo reported. "These weapons can tear through any known shield technology. The aliens designed their defenses to stop plasma and particle beams, not quantum-disrupted matter. Stealth systems? Perfect. Our ships can remain invisible to all Coalition sensors while maintaining full combat capability. We can strike without being seen and disappear before retaliation." Minho turned to Captain Yoonji. "What about our intelligence network?" "Fully operational. We have listening posts throughout Coalition space, disguised as merchant vessels and mining operations. We know the location and strength of every major fleet. The plan had taken years to develop. Rather than meet the Coalition in open battle where humanity would surely lose, Earth's leaders had chosen deception. They allowed the aliens to believe humans were primitive and weak, while secretly building a force capable of challenging the entire galaxy." Captain Dongmin's voice crackled through the communicator again. "Commander, my crew is ready to begin Phase 2. We've identified several isolated Coalition patrol groups that have separated from the main fleet." "Not yet," Minho replied firmly. "Let them celebrate their victory. Let them become comfortable and careless. We need them to spread their forces thin, believing the threat is over." Dr. Hyunwoo pulled up strategic displays showing Coalition fleet movements. Their ships are already dispersing. Admiral Jiwon is sending forces back to regular patrol duties across 12 sectors. They think Earth is finished. "Perfect," said Captain Yoonji. "Overconfidence will be their weakness." Minho walked to the central command chair, his mind already planning the next phase. The Coalition believed they had won a great victory, but they had only destroyed expensive decoys. Meanwhile, humanity's real fleet waited in the shadows, armed with weapons the aliens could not imagine and protected by technology that made them invisible. "Send coded messages to all fleet commanders," Minho ordered. Phase 2 begins in 3 months. Every ship is to maintain absolute stealth until then. No attacks, no risks, no mistakes. "What about the colonies?" asked Captain Yoonji. "Some of our people are demanding we strike back immediately." "They must wait," Minho said firmly. "Patience is our greatest weapon. Let the Coalition think they are safe. Let them believe humans are gone forever. When we finally reveal ourselves, it will be too late for them to respond." On the main screen, the last Coalition ship disappeared into hyperspace, carrying news of their glorious victory back to their home worlds. Admiral Jiwon would be celebrated as a hero who had eliminated the human menace forever. But deep in the asteroid belt, 2,000 human warships waited in perfect silence, their crews preparing for a war the galaxy would never see coming. The Coalition had won a battle against shadows and scrap metal. Soon they would learn the difference between defeating decoys and facing humanity's true strength. The real war was about to begin, and Earth held every advantage.